Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for a fact that makes your brain go. 31 years ago today, everything changed. Kenzie guessed the thong two-piece bikini was unveiled.
I was guessing one of the first trashier bikinis was on Brian's radar.
Again, this isn't about me, but I'm glad you're thinking of me. And then Case guessed first that the sippy cup was invented.
Uh-huh.
And then second, on the text line, what'd they say again?
The June 17th, 1994 was Kenzie's birthday, which it is. Happy birthday,
Yeah,
Kenzie.
happy birthday.
It's not.
22. Happy birthday.
That's facts. The rest is it.
Even with that year, somehow it
The
just
rest is a lie.
magically happened. Nope, that's not the case. What happened on June 17th, 1994? Why don't I just play the audio to give you the answer? Here it is. This comes from television man Larry King doing an interview.
This call, I understand we're going to go to a live picture in Los Angeles. Is that correct? Okay. This is Interstate 5, and this is courtesy of KCALR, one of our L.A. affiliates. Police believe that O.J. Simpson is in that car.
I'm going to stop right now because there's only like one channel on the radio. I hate that. But O.J. Simpson, the Bronco chase, happened 31 years ago today. Now, what happened in this chase, it went for 60 miles across Southern California after O.J. Simpson was a fugitive because the police wanted to speak to him. He had to surrender himself to police for the murder of his wife, or ex-wife at that time, and Ron Goldman. So he was told to surrender to police regarding those murders. He wasn't necessarily going to be arrested or, at this point, whatever. They just wanted him to surrender to talk to him about the murders. He took off, and the chase started in South Orange County, ended up at Simpson's Brentwood home. 90 million people in America watched this live as it turned on, and once they found out what was going on, 90 million people were watching it live. I remember watching this.
Wait, so, because I don't remember the order of operations. I know a lot of O.J. Simpson stuff. But
Yeah.
I wasn't born yet in 94. I don't
Right.
know the exact order of everything. So he was already fleeing, and then this is way before the trial and everything.
Way before the trial, he was just ordered to surrender to police, and he didn't.
Wow, that's not a very innocent person activity.
Nope, not much. Not much. Now, also, his football teammate, Al Collins, was driving it. And, of course, there's been some funny parodies on Seinfeld of that. But he was saying, back off. He's got a gun to his head. So, allegedly,
Oh, my God.
allegedly, OJ had a gun to his head. And he wasn't saying he was sorry. He didn't admit guilt at that point. But he did have a gun to his head while he's driving on the highway. And all the cars, I just remember the first time. And it was, in a way, it was like first Twitter, where everybody was watching the same thing and talking about the same thing. And it was in the middle of the day, too. And it was a huge day. There was a great 30 for 30 about that day and what happened on that day. Besides the O.J. chase.
60 miles? Did they not have to stop for gas at some point?
I guess they filled up beforehand.
Okay.
This is why it's important to always have a full tank, because if
Yeah.
you're getting chased by cops.
I mean, on a Bronco, I'm guessing a Bronco in 1994 probably got, I'm guessing, I'm at 16 miles per gallon.
I would have guessed 7. It just seems like it would be a gas guzzler.
You can do a fact check on that if you could try to find the gas mileage of a Bronco in 94.
Okay, all right.
This is why I don't ask certain questions, because it's going to be Google it.
Kenzie, why don't you help him out with that? That'd be great.
Fine.
13 miles, 12 to 16 miles per gallon.
They were on the highway, so you get better mileage on the highway. However,
Okay.
and they were going a pretty slow pace. Usually, the faster you go, the less gas mileage you get.
How were they going at a slow pace? It was a car chase.
They weren't going 90 or 100 miles an hour. They were just kind of cruising at about 50 or 40. The cops were just all behind them, all the cops. If you've never seen this video, Kenzie, you got to watch
It was
the
a
video.
50-mile-an-hour car chase?
Yeah, because they didn't want to cause any accidents or, shoot him on the highway. So they just kind of let it go, and they were trying to talk him off to pull over. Now, they don't do that with today's people.
They were trying to de-escalate
Yeah.
instead of do the pit maneuver to ram OJ into a barricade.
I just keep hearing the Family Guy audio. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
That was OJ. It ended with, I just want to shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, this was the largest television coverage event in history at that point, except for the ending of MASH. It was 90 million people watching it. And I remember everybody, I was working at a radio station just starting out. And I remember, everybody kind of gathered in the TV room because you couldn't put it on your phone. And what's going on here? That's a white Bronco. It's OJ's in there. I don't know what's going on. And it became a defining moment in American culture. And also that Bronco,
Yeah.
it was owned by Al Cowlings, who was the guy driving it, but it was sold and is now part of an exhibit at the Alcatraz East Crime Museum. The Bronco is.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's history.
All right
You know
there.
what I find interesting is anybody who shops at Target a decent amount will notice in the women's section, and I think the girls section too, like preteen or whatever. There's a lot of Ford Bronco like gear, and I always found that so odd. Like, there's a lot of cars that have like people like Jeep Wranglers and stuff. I'm like, who has this huge Ford Bronco following? They all these Ford Bronco shirts. They have one on there. And I feel like every time somebody sees a Ford Bronco, they're going to think of O.J. Simpson.
Yep.
I just found it the odd. Am I wrong? Is there like a huge Ford Bronco like group of people? Like there is like Jeep Wrangler and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is. Because Broncos came back with a new design several years ago, and there's a lot. They're really cool looking. I kind of want one.
I'm not a car guy in the slightest, but the new Broncos are really badass.
They are.
I look at it. It looks like an OJ merch line. Every time I look around, it's just like weird.
Probably got some more people checking in, doing the deep dive for us. The 94 Bronco had an estimated range of 384 to 512 miles on a full 32-gallon tank. 32-gallon tank they had? Like, I fill my car now, my Rogue is like 16 gallons.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
The Bronco had 32-gallon tank. It must have cost
crazy.
$400 to fill that thing today.
So that's when gas was like 180.
What was gas in 1994, Case?
In Los Angeles. I have to look it up in
Okay,
Los
in Los
Angeles.
Angeles.
1994,
That's a good point.
Gas,
That's
Los
fair.
Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's City of Sinners. They've all got higher prices.
Oh, relax.
I'm seeing earthquakes. In March, gasoline rose from $1.09 to $1.22.
God. Such good times.
We used to have it better.
Except for OJ killing people.
Well, that
but,
was
you
a
know.
bummer.
Yeah.
Not a good time for everybody.
Now, Jason checked in because it was funny. OJ, I think, was in Chicago right around that time. He flew in or something and flew out. I think he was trying to get an alibi. And Jason said, I just drove by the Holiday Inn in Rosemount where OJ flew to when he came to Chicago that week.
Really?
Yeah, he came in that week. Jason, go
At
back to the
stayed at
hotel.
that Holiday Inn in Rosemont?
Yeah. Jason, turn around and go back to that hotel and see if they have a ledger with OJ's signature in it.
I have to say, I was just going to say, do you think they did one of those, like, you know how, like, when you go to restaurants, whatever, they have the celebrity signature, like, pictures that they hang up? How bummed do you think they were when, like, a week later they had to take it down? Like, this is awesome, OJ stayed here. Oh, we killed someone. Like, we just put it up. Like, this is going to be our thing, is that OJ stayed here.
Well, 31 years ago, the OJ Bronco chase, and it gives us a chance to play the audio from the late, great Norm Macdonald on Saturday Night Live when he was on the news desk. And this is what got him fired from Saturday Night Live, all the jokes he did about OJ.
Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. The most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses or treats. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, there it is, I've been looking all over for that thing. In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. Get worse luck than that. Testimony during the final week provided some spellbinding moments. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q 101.
Well, a lot to get to in sports coming up here after the Chili Peppers, where some awesome things going on with the Cubs and the All-Star voting. The information about Joey Chestnut being back in the Nathan's Hot Dog Championship, and something you may not want to hear about your Chicago Bulls. All that coming up in just about 5 minutes. But first, we gave you the fact that makes your brain go. 31 years ago today, the O.J. Bronco chase happened. Some of you were alive, some of you weren't, but you've either seen documentaries about it and how insane it was when it happened in real time. 90 million people in America watched it. Kenzie asked some questions about the Bronco because in Target she sees some very cute gear for kids with a Bronco on it. And Chad from South Bend checked in and said, I want a Bronco t-shirt that says complicated legacy. But because Kenzie wasn't aware that Broncos had kind of had this, rebirth on the street.
I just thought it was an odd choice for Target to launch a Ford Bronco graphic line because I can't see Ford Bronco and not think of O.J. Simpson.
Well, Faith checked in, father of a 19-year-old daughter, and said the Bronco is the current vehicle of choice of his 19-year-old daughter. So there you go. Christy checked in from Lowell. I have a 2022 Ford Bronco. Love it. I also own a Ford Bronco shirt. Similar to Jeep drivers, they do that wave when they pass each other. Broncos wear shirts. Bronco owners wear shirts.
Oh, okay. Well, now I know.
So that's why they're selling so many shirts, because you have to wear the shirt when you're driving your Bronco, apparently.
It's the only thing you're allowed to wear.
You can't wear anything else.
The car won't start.
Think about how many of them you need.
Yeah, you need so many shirts. Juan checked in and said, what a Jeep owner thing to say, Kenzie, about the Broncos.
Why? I don't own one. I don't know.
I know you're being racist against the Bronco, apparently.
Well, yeah. That's my jam.
Also, another check-in that we had a listener that drove by the Holiday Inn that OJ went to after the murders to get an alibi. And someone checked in and said that Holiday Inn back in the 90s was called the Chicago DuPont Plaza. Just so you know.
Oh. Good place for an alibi.
It does sound creepier, doesn't it?
Now it does. Now it sounds really creepy.
Plaza.
And Josh checked in and said, I remember watching the NBA Finals in the chase. The chase was in the corner. Mm-hmm. So you still had the NBA Finals on live, but the chase went to your screen-on-screen, picture-in-picture, so you could still see what happened if they were going to shoot OJ on live TV.
I guess you're not wrong. It's a funny way to say it, though.
I mean, or he's going to kill himself on live TV.
Yeah.
Or it was going to crash. There was a lot of options.
And then none of them happened. He just got out of the car.
He got out of the car. There was an hour standoff, and then they took him into custody. Wow.
I also thought this was interesting. Lara texted in and said, my diesel water delivery truck is 35 gallons. That's insane for a Bronco. That's how many gallons. We're holding the same gallons as the delivery trucks.
Now, I'm guessing you didn't expect this kind of content this morning with the fact, obviously, being 31 years ago that the OJ chase happened. We have more OJ content to give you. Because 2 years ago, when Kenzie was on maternity leave, Dickie Barrett of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, formerly of the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, one of the greatest ska punk singers of all time, came in the show to talk to me in case when we were here just alone, and he didn't know that OJ had died.
So what happened was Dickie came in. He's such a nice guy. He's insane, but he's such a nice guy. He's so nice to us. And we're in a situation where it's Brian and I in the studio. Dickie comes in. We're putting on our headphones. Brian's about to come out of the song. I remember specifically it was Zombie by the Cranberries. And Dickie looks at us and he goes, what are you guys talking about today? And I give him like a Jordan shrug. I go, OJ. And he goes, oh, what did he do now? And right before we come out of the Cranberries, Brian goes, he died. And this is Dickie Barrett reacting live on the air to learning that O.J. Simpson had died 24 hours earlier, and this is his one O.J. story that he had.
O.J. died. I did not know that. I know everybody's, veering off the road going, this idiot didn't know O.J. died. I had no idea.
See, that's what's amazing. That makes me jealous of your life in a way. That
right.
You are that just in other stuff.
Yes.
You didn't sit there on Twitter or whatever. It happened yesterday right at the end of our show. So 9:45-ish, it was announced yesterday.
I never met OJ, but years ago, the Mighty Mighty Bosstones were on a record called Kiss My Ass. It was a tribute to Kiss that Gene Simmons put out himself. And I was to get in this limo, go across town to a hotel, pick up Gene Simmons, and then we were going to start this press thing. As I'm driving across town, the news came on the radio that O.J. Simpson's wife had been murdered.
Right.
And I'm like, what's going on? Same thing. Hit with a ton of bricks. I'm like, oh, this is so strange. And just going on, and O.J. has not been located. We don't know where O.J. is. But his wife, Nicole, and
Ron Goldman had been found murdered. And then Gene gets in, and I was like, oh, it's nice to meet you, Gene. How are you? Good morning and everything. Did you hear that O.J. Simpson's wife has been killed? And then Gene took a beat, and he goes,
Dickie, OJ did it. I'm still trying to process everything. This is before the car chase. This is before if the glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. Gene Simmons is says solve the case within moments of, first thing he tells me, moments of meeting him.
Dickie, I'm telling you, he did it.
All right, Gene Simmons says he did it. He must have done it.
Oh, boy.
I believe him.
The great Dickie Barrett, who was at Riot Fest last year with his other band, the Defiant Ones.
That's right.
Or the Defiant.
The Defiant Ones was the
documentary.
The Interscope music documentary.
Which is incredible if you haven't seen the Defiant Ones about Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine and the creation of hip-hop and Nine Inch Nails and metal and all that. Anyway.
Came out 10 years ago. If you missed it, go check it out.
Is it 10 years old now, the Defiant
I
Ones?
believe it was 2017, so we're coming up on it.
All right. Well, a couple of years, 10 years old. Don't age it so quickly.
Anyways, different band.
Thank you, Dickie Barrett. That's enough OJ content for the day. Let's get to sports in 3 minutes.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101. You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Klash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin. Q101.
Let's go. We have tickets for hilarious comedian Jimmy Carr at the Chicago Theater Thursday, October 8th. You'll get those tickets if you beat Kenzie in trivia, Steve. But if Kenzie wins, everybody listening still has a chance at him, so stay right here. But, Steve, they're yours if you can beat Kenzie. Ahoy, tell us something about yourself.
Hey, my name is Steve. I'm from Palatine. I got 3 kids, and they're all a pain in my butt, but I love them.
I get it. I get what's going on there.
What was the biggest pain in the butt moment recently of one of them?
Oh, gosh. There's so many.
I'm going to blow your mind there on that
Happy
one.
Father's Day.
All right, we'll just take that as a lot of moments, and let's just get right to the game to give you a little bit of an escape from those 3 Rugrats. Here we go. First 1 to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same with you. Call heads or tails, Steve.
Tails never fails.
It does today. It's heads. Sorry, buddy.
Oh.
So just beating you down.
Your kids have heads. You should have guessed that.
These kids are probably mocking him right now for a bad coin toss choice.
I would imagine so.
Kenzie, question number 1.
Uh-huh.
What type of bread is made with natural yeast and became a quarantine trend in 2020?
Sourdough.
Sourdough. That's the best bread, right? We all agree on that?
I like Hawaiian bread.
Hawaiian.
Yes. Case, honestly, good choice.
It
Good
took
pull.
2 years, but we finally agree.
Oh, my God.
Now,
I figured whatever you'd say I hate, but that was great.
now you're just eating those Hawaiian rolls just out of the bag?
No, they've got
But they
loaves
make
of bread.
bread slices. That's what my kids want their sandwiches on, and they're fantastic.
I make a mean grilled cheese on those puppies.
Now, are they
Sweet.
soft like the rolls?
Mm-hmm.
They're very soft, but it's slices of bread. It's a bread loaf. It's
So-
fantastic.
It's a bread loaf.
So, Brian, imagine the rolls,
Uh-huh.
but now it's a bread loaf.
Wow.
Every sandwich, touch of sweetness. It's fantastic.
I got to match it, side by side with sourdough to see for sure.
Normally, my kids really piss me off with all their demands, but once I had a sandwich on that, I'm like, I get where you're coming from.
Steve,
I understand why the whole wheat wasn't rocking your world the same.
Steve, have you tried Hawaiian bread to calm your kids down?
I haven't, but I will. It sounds like promising.
There you go. We're
You
changing
throw it at
lives.
them like ducks. They usually they chill out a little bit.
Just sit on the couch and just like breadcrumb
I
it
throw pieces.
until they get out
Can I
the
get some
door.
more parenting tips from Kenzie?
You're welcome. Yeah, put it in the car when you try to get them in there.
You just keep the door open and keep throwing the breadcrumbs further so they're out the door and then you lock them out. All right. Kenzie's got one. Back to Steve.
He's got nothing. We've only asked one question so far.
Unbelievable.
Steve, here we go. Employees at Dairy Queen are required to flip what menu item upside down to demonstrate its thickness?
The blizzard.
What a question.
I don't know what's funny about that. That's serious business.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to say.
I think that they have to panic when you're a newbie and you're like, for the love of God, stay in the car.
It's got to be terrifying.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
I've always heard that if they
Am I
don't...
the only?
Go ahead, Steve.
I was going to say, am I the only one who always wants it to fall?
Yeah.
No.
I think you get it for free.
That's what I was
don't
going to
you?
say is I think you get it for free if it falls.
Yeah, what do you do?
I don't
Eat
know
it
if you have to eat it off
you have
the
to
counter
floor?
or
Yeah.
not.
What do you eat it off of?
Free.
I mean, I take free anything. I'm cheap, but off the floor of Blizzard,
I'm like, I'll take it here. It's
you
fine.
know, I'll spend $3 more for one back in the cup. if I have to. All right, 1-1.
And back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, adding shredded lettuce, sliced tomatoes, chopped onions, olive oil, red wine vinegar, and a blend of seasoning to a sandwich at Jersey Mike's is known as what?
Mike's Way?
Mike's Way.
Oh, my God. I was over here trying to calculate the recipe. I'm like, you're going to ask me the name of this recipe? It's a lot of ingredients.
Back to Steve.
Yes.
During one turn around bases in baseball, how many possible bases can you steal?
3.
3 is right. Go to second, go to third, go to home. Kenzie will stay with sports on this one. In basketball, when a player is fouled on a three-pointer and they make the shot, how many free throws do they get?
I think. This could be super. Is it 3?
It is not 3. So they make the three-pointer, they get fouled. How many free throws do they get, Steve?
That is just 1.
It's just 1. They can get a 4-point play out of it because they made the 3. So there you
Is
go.
there at any point in time where they get to take 3 shots?
If they got fouled and didn't make it,
Oh, okay.
so they can do 3.
I'm like, God, I swear I remember having to sit there for 3.
Let's see, back to Steve.
It's back to Steve. He's ahead 3-2.
3-2. What is the name of the rat in Ratatouille? Steve?
Oh, God.
I know Kenzie's going to know
I have
this.
kids. I should know this.
Yeah.
I have
Sounds like you avoid them when they're watching
absolutely
Ratatouille.
no idea.
No idea. You can't give me a name?
It's French. I don't know. Pierre?
Pierre is not right, but at least you guessed. That's Kenzie's going to know this, I know.
Remy.
Remy.
I love that movie.
So is it 3-3?
Hey, you guys give Kenzie a little ding there just for my OCD. There you go. 3-3, and it's back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, what was the first fully CGI feature film? A fully CGI feature film. What was the first one? You're a big animated person. Not in person, you're like animated movies.
Well, some would say Kenzie's animated.
I feel like I saw somewhere that it was Toy Story. Is that accurate?
That is right.
Okay.
It was Toy Story. Now Kenzie goes up 4-3.
Back to
Because part
Steve.
of my heart wanted to say Avatar was like the psycho CGI one first, but okay.
So this is for Steve.
This is for Steve.
What 3-letter footwear company is known for their sheepskin boots?
Uggs.
Uggs is right. So now it's 4-4. Next one wins. And this goes to Kenzie
This goes to Kenzie.
Let's see.
for the win. Kenzie, what musical instrument appears on the Guinness beer label?
What's that? Is it a harp?
It is a harp. Wow. Kenzie wins. Good game, though. 4-3 or 5-4, I should say.
I'll tell
Steve,
you what, I'm totally going to give him the tickets, though, because I think he needs a night out.
do you need a night out? Do you really love Jimmy Carr, Steve?
I do like Jimmy Carr.
And you do need a night out, it sounds like.
Yeah, he needs a night out.
I could use one. Not
Yep.
gonna lie.
Are you going to go home, though, afterward?
Stop it. It's none of our business.
All right, Steve, congratulations. Kenzie's giving
Think
you
about it.
You'll think about it. Okay, good. At least you think about it. It's good. Kenzie will give you a ticket. It's very generous on Kenzie's part. There you go. Now, remember, we're not that far away for more free stuff for all y'all. I would say 15 minutes away, $750, 21 Pilots tickets in a song scramble. Stay here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Start getting your takeaways in from today's show, 312-591-8300. Something memorable to you on today's show. Text that in right now, 312-591-8300, as we get to some local stories out there of note. This is interesting. So the state has acquired some property over the years, and they can't find who owns it. It's unclaimed property. There's a section on the IllinoisTreasurer.gov website. You can get a link to that for claiming property. Maybe it's yours. If you can prove it's yours, you can get it. But over the years, stuff is piled up, and they need room, apparently, in the building wherever this is all housed. So they're doing an auction that's going on right now on the website of things like a Ryan Sandberg rookie card, along with a card of the home run king Hank Aaron, with a minimum bid of $180 as of Monday afternoon. This will go through the rest of the week, I believe, this on the website.
So where does the money go? Just into, like, our government?
Yeah, for potholes. I'm sure it's going to go somewhere really appropriate. They probably go to lunch. They probably have, like, a mixer at the office. They get, some Little Caesars pizzas.
And they use Kenzie's hard-earned cash as a napkin.
Yeah. pretty much it.
You know that like something like this happens, like, guess we're getting Joe's Seafood instead of Little Caesars for the caterer, instead of like anything ever improving.
Some of the items that they have that they can't find the owners of is outstanding. There's 200 lots will be auctioned off as part of the sale, which will take place to June 22nd, so the rest of the week. There's a Anakin Skywalker comic book from the Phantom Menace film series, along with a Yoda Pez dispenser, where the Pez part is Yoda's head.
This was all from one person's house? Or?
Well, different people. They just can't find who owns this stuff, and it's sitting around in a box somewhere in the office, so they're auctioning it off. You've got some Sammy Sosa cards.
Strange.
It is concerning that we're now paying our state bills with Yoda Pez dispensers, although I will be bidding on said Yoda Pez dispenser.
Hey, times are tough, man. Even the state can't pay their cable bill.
If I could make a change in the community by buying this, I would.
Yeah.
What else is on the list?
A Chicago White Sox card of Michael Jordan.
Fun.
So Michael Jordan card. That's got to be worth something, right?
No.
Why isn't it?
Why? Because why would it be?
Well, because it's Michael Jordan playing a White Sox uniform.
Okay.
Oh, I have one of those.
You do?
Yeah. How much what does it say? What's it going for?
I don't see the minimum bid here.
I'm like literally, my husband has that in a case. Like he has like this big case at home with a bunch of them. I will sell the hell out of it. He never looks. Is it worth a lot?
Well, fortunately, he doesn't listen to the show, so he won't know you're doing this.
I know. He never listens.
Well, it's an auction, so you don't know. The auction, like for that Ryan Sandberg card, starts at $180, and I don't know if it's gone much above that.
They're spending all their time on this. They're going to make a couple $100.
There's...
And also, what do you mean? Like they just found? What if this is just somebody cleaning out their desk at work? Like they found a box.
This is embarrassing. There's a Sammy Sosa card where the high bid is $5 right now.
Yeah, that's about what it should be.
Why
What is going on?
Why are they wasting the website's time and effort to put these up to get rid of them?
Do you know what the website is? IllinoisTreasurer.gov, is that it?
Yeah, but I'm actually looking at a link. It links it better on Kenzie's link, which is, we're just talking on the off the air, it sounds like.
Sorry.
Kenzie likes to do prep from MSN.com, and there's a
okay, laugh at me, but you're using it right now.
I will say this link is amazing.
Exactly.
Because
I get good prep from there.
Because it links right to the part of the government site. It makes it easier to find exactly what they're doing.
I know.
So example...
Mock my prep.
well, from MSN. Oh, so wait a minute. Now it says the high bid on the Hank Aaron card's $170.
Oh, we did that. People heard.
Uh-oh.
But I thought it said the minimum bid for the Ryan Sandberg card was $180, and that seems to be at $170 as well. Do you get both of them in that package? Ugh.
How much does somebody want the Michael Jordan White Sox card? You bid with me. I will give it away.
Doesn't Hank Aaron deserve his own auctions bidding site? Oh, I mean, Ryan Sandberg does too.
Whose job is it to post this? Like, who's like in a government building? Like, make sure you get those playing cards up on our website. That's weird.
So it does say description: 2 baseball cards, a 1955 Topps Hank Aaron number 47 and a 1983 Topps 83 Ryan Sandberg rookie card. Together, it's going for $170 right now. You have till Sunday at 6:30 to up that bid.
And you think it should be worth more?
I think it should be. It's Ryan Sandberg, for God's sake.
Okay, but that doesn't mean anything.
It should mean a lot. Why doesn't anybody care? Why doesn't the card community care about Ryan Sandberg?
Because it's Ryan Sandberg.
He's incredible.
And I'm actually asking Case because
Yeah.
you know about these things, like the playing cards and stuff.
So condescending.
No, but whatever.
So you have this Pokemon.
My question is any card like that valuable if the person's alive still, or is it only like players that have passed away that have like really cards that are valuable?
No, like LeBron stuff and Jordan stuff and to a weird degree Derrick Rose stuff. All that stuff's very valuable.
Oh, it is. So you don't have to be dead for it to be worth something.
You don't have to be dead
But
for it
then
to be worth something.
Why isn't the Michael Jordan White Sox card worth that
Well,
much?
it probably is in poor condition because it's in a state auction.
Ours is in really good condition. I'm just.
Yeah.
How much do you think I could get for that Case? Honestly,
I don't know. I gotta look at it. Send me a photo.
You
of it.
as if you don't know off the top of your head.
I gotta look at it.
By the
I'm
way,
trying to get laid right now and act like, oh, cool. Tell me how much it's worth.
I gotta look at it.
wait a minute.
Whatever. If it looked perfect, how much would it be worth?
We got an early takeaway.
Imagine it perfect.
We got an early takeaway from Brett. Takeaway. I learned today that MSN still exists.
Kenzie's their one user.
You guys, they have the best stories. They scour the internet and they
Sure.
accumulate their. You guys use my prep from there all the time. How dare you belittle me?
Now, Josh said from 219, I bought a Mark Johnson basketball card for $20 because it had the Menendez brothers in the audience in the background.
That is a good one.
That card's
That's
only worth.
insane. Who spotted that.
No, that's famous thing when the Menendez documentary came out last year. People that has been known for years. Why is that only $20? The Menendez brothers are in it at the game for Mark
But no
Jackson.
one's like, oh, awesome, you know them? That's why. Like, nobody wants, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Those
okay,
are my friends.
Let's run through a hypothetical, Brian. You're at a card show. I'm selling the Mark Johnson basketball card with the Menendez brothers on it. And I ask you, how much will you pay for this? You're going to go, about $20.
And nobody would outbid me?
No!
Because I would say $20. You're right.
It's a Mark Johnson basketball card.
But in fairness, Brian would say that about anything. He'd be like, this is a trip to Mexico. He's like, I'll give you $20.
$20. We'll start there. Let's start the bidding there. All right. Well, anyway, that's on the Illinois Treasurer.gov site, but Kenzie's MSN link has all the better links to it. We'll
You're welcome.
post the MSN link now. Finally, if you like food and you love Naperville, this is your day. The Cheesecake Factory opens today at Block 59 Shopping and Dining Entertainment District. There's a lot of stuff planned for the rest of this year in 2026, but the 8,700 square foot restaurant, 310 staff members in the new location. We like that because people are working. We love that. It's on 428 South State Route 59, and it opens today. So Cheesecake Factory now open in Naperville. I know you needed it. And
Hey-o.
go there and pick one of the 250 things off their menu. I used to love the mashed potato omelet, but they took it off the menu. How dare they have
Bastards.
250 things and not have that omelet on there?
Ugh. But they have that like rye brown bread that's sweet. It's delightful. And the white chocolate macadamia nut cheesecake is, in fact, the best out of the 800 cheesecakes available.
Get in the car, kids. We're going to Naperville.
Okay.
All right, 312-591-8300. Give us your takeaways, and we'll do them all after All-American Rejects, veterans of Q101's Twisted Christmas.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.